I'm sorry about this to anybody watching.
You know we love you, you know we care. You are my love, you are my heart, and we will never, ever, ever be apart. Where have you gone now? Oh, please quit playing. We are lost now, what are you saying? Said there's another and looked right in my eyes. Our first love broke our heart for the first time, and we were like precious, 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 oh. Precious, 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 no. Precious, 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 oh. We thought you'd always be mine, mine, oh, for you. With the word of sex forever, and we just can't believe it.
Waiting to hear our song.
Well, it wasn't the premiere though, Brett. It was the first Half Price Tuesday after the premiere.
That's right.
But still quite a big thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and we got to the event and we were, oh, here comes our song. And then, they didn't use it and it was really hurtful.
But you can get it on some video copies, some VHS copies. Just look for the Biro Pen Special Edition.
Yeah, we've taken them out from the video shop and then dubbed our song on the end.
It's taking ages to do, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah.
Here's the song.
Frodo, don't wear the ring. I know it's very tempting. Yes, you will appear to disappear, but the Dark Riders, they'll know you're there. Yes, Lord Sauron has many spies.
Many spies have many eyes.
One ring to find them, one ring to rule them all, one ring to bind them, one to find them, one ring to rule them all! Yeah, 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 yeah! You got to rule them, Frodo, rule them with the ring! Come on, rule them with the ring, them!
If you want him, come and claim him.
I am not a conjurer of cheap tricks.
Quickly, hide Frodo!
Do they, Gandalf?
Ah, Gandalf, my old friend. I like what you've done with your beard. There's thousands of them, and only about 8 of us will never make it.
Oh, no.
We made it.
Oh, hooray!
You have my sword.
You have my bow.
And my axe.
Yo, Frodo, what you doing wearing the ring? All powerful jewelry, is that your new thing? I know it's hard when you're little more 3'4", little ass so close to floor. Trying to lead the fellows to the gates of Mordor, the fellowship.
Yeah, the fellowship.
I don't rap about bitches and hoes, I rap about witches and trolls. Passed on the words of the Elven King. Wisdom to all, Frodo, don't wear the ring. Frodo, don't wear the ring. The magical bling bling, you'll never be the Lord of the Rings. Dwarves, elves, human beings, don't know what it is, it's a Lord of the Rings.
I'm all right. I was saved by a giant eagle.
Toronto, Cannes, Berlin, and Sundance, everybody chat about. Good movies, chat about. Good movies, chat about. Good movies. Good movies. Good movies. Oh, hello, everybody, and welcome to another Good Movie Chat About, where we have good chats about good movies with good guests. I am Bobby, aka Gugu, and my guest today, you know from her hilarious posts on Blue Sky, as well as her bizarre and very funny webcomic Grassy Valley. It's Bay Friend. Bay, welcome to the Chat About.
Hi. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm really happy to have you here. When I was floating, potential franchises, I could tell that you were most excited about Lord of the Rings, the potential for that.
Absolutely. Yes.
So just like for people that maybe are watching this, what I've been doing for the past since the November, I've been just watching the first couple of movies of a bunch of different movie franchises of various kinds. I started with Godfather, and then I did Alien, Star Wars, Star Trek. Last week we did Toy Story. So we're doing Lord of the Rings, and then I will say, not to start with the plug, but I got a great finale next week. I'm doing one less than I originally intended, but don't worry about it. It's fine. We're still doing 7 franchise fests. Nothing to sneeze at. And next week will be the ultimate, my favorite. And the whole reason for my celebrating big movie franchises, Avatar with guest Stefan Heck next Saturday.
Whoa.
So we got Stefan for the Avatar finale. But yeah, I love the high-minded Criterion type of films, of course. But sometimes it's fun to just think about the popcorn ones. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I agree.
So, these movies are also, like, really important to me. I saw, of course, I'm kind of an old head, I will say. I'm older than a lot of people. Or I'm just shy of 40 here. So I was...
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm old head, and so I'm a unk. I literally am unk. I'm 5 times a unk. So I'm very proud to be unk. And so I saw these when I was in high school, like Christmas break, midnight showing, and that was when they did a midnight showing, but it was at midnight. Like, they didn't start at 8 p.m. Like, eventually they started going to like 11 p.m. and then it just became creep. To now they just start them as early as like 5 or 6 the day before.
I don't think that's right. A midnight showing.
I know, there is something really special. I mean, I literally remember like when I went to, I think it was Return of the King, I want to say, that there was like somebody that was like laughing about like all the people that are dressed up, and he was like, what's your name, man, like he who wears hefty bag or something, because there was like people like had all like cosplay and everything. I mean, I did like the Matrix sequels and everything, like going to the midnights. I will admit, and something that will never be covered on my stream, I did go to some Harry Potter films at midnight as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we all can, mistakes were made. I mean, we didn't know what we didn't know.
We didn't know, yeah.
Bae, how were you introduced both to like Lord of the Rings? Were you introduced first through the movies, or like where did your connection begin?
Yeah, the movies definitely, but they were coming out when I was like 6 to 8.
Right.
And so I feel like they were like pay-per-view movies for my family. And I honestly had no interest in them ever again until COVID lockdown. For some reason, I think they saturated culture so much that I was just kind of over it as soon as they came out. But then during lockdown, I think we were all kind of wanting to escape. I'm sure so many people came back to these during lockdown. And I just got like this pang to watch them again, and I loved them. I was like, I've been missing out. I feel lucky to be on Earth at the same time that these are. Yeah. So that's how I feel about them now. And then I read all the book. Now I'm in it.
Wow, see, and this is the thing, and even though I made a Tom Bombadil joke on Blue Sky earlier, I've never read the books. I've never read The Hobbit, I've never read any of the books, but I love the movies. I mean, like, sort of what you're saying about, like, how lucky we are to be alive when these got made or whatever. I remember walking out of Fellowship, and one of my family friends, was my brother's friend and also my friend, we were walking out, and he's like, and he said, like, in the moment, this is one of those movies that, like, you remember when you, like, went to see it. Like, he's like, this is going to be, like, a big, like, he knew, like, then, like, in a way. And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. And, like, God, is he ever, like, it's sort of a miracle that these things were able to be made as perfectly as they were. And it, like, could only happen once and can never happen again, kind of.
I know. I feel like they were so forward thinking in that they recognized the limitations of the technology at the time, so they didn't press further, like their reach didn't exceed their grasp, and so they look amazing.
Yeah, and they kept
20
it
years
practical
later.
where they could, and you can't
Absolutely, yeah.
like when all this fucking orcs covered in mud and stuff, and like that's visceral. You need to see the people in the mud. I don't want CGI mud.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and like these, and also watching them during the pandemic is, I think, tracks, because I know of a bunch of people that just separately, their tradition that they do, like every Christmas break around Christmas time, so now, around now, they will watch the entire original trilogy. And like that's like their thing they do. I think actually Stefan's talked about doing this in the past, and it's like a thing that, like people do it with their families, and it's like it's part of the Christmas tradition, and like it's something that when there's like a big snowstorm, that it's like one of the first things my wife and I want to do. We're like, let's watch all the Lord of the Rings movies. Like it's just getting in a blanket, and I mean it's like getting in like a great book or something, right? Like you're just kind of losing yourself to this. It's just such a fully realized world in such a cool way.
Yeah. So, yeah, immersive, maybe the most immersive movies that exist, yeah.
And yet, I was thinking about this, compared again to the other fantasy series that I won't mention again. There's no, at least not that I can think of right now, there's no real theme park presence. Like, they didn't sell those rights in the same way that, Warner Brothers sold to Universal, whatever, the other franchise, that like, how have they not made a similar deal for Lord of the Rings? It's like, I don't know, I sometimes feel, again, and I hate thinking about them like IP like this, because that really takes the art out of it, but they don't, I feel like Warner Brothers, or whoever owns the rights now, which I do think is Warner Brothers, because New Line went out of business because they made this movie, and they don't like they sell the rights to Amazon to make the series or whatever for the Ring of Power.
Right, that's a good point.
Have you watched any of the? Have you watched Ring of Power? I've not seen a single minute of Ring of Power.
No, I have not at all. I don't want to ruin the good feelings I have about
the
movie. So yeah.
When I was watching Fellowship this week, I did have a moment when they were going through the Mines of Moria, and like there's like the huge like open whatever area, and I'm like, okay, I do kind of, if Rings of Power shows me this place when it's bumping, I kind of want to see that. But like, I don't necessarily want to invest in the whole series. Like, you could just give me like a 5-minute short or something, and I would be just as happy.
Some screenshots or like a tour. Yeah.
But it's like, it is such a special trilogy. Like, they made all the movies together at the same time. Like, all these actors, some big name, really respected actors, some actors that were like just about to break out, like, Viggo Mortensen or whatever, and like they all had to just put their careers on hold for like multiple years. Hey, Bella Trelia, thank you for the follow, and also thanks for all the follows in the pre-show. I forgot to thank you guys. Thanks everyone for following. Come back. Yeah, so it was like, Elijah Wood or someone who had like a very ascendant film career, or Liv Tyler, like she was starting to be cast in a bunch of stuff, and they're like, all right, I'm going to like ultimate risk, take a couple years off to go to, and then they got to live in New Zealand though, and that's pretty cool.
I know, yeah, and having read the book, something I think about a lot for Liv Tyler is Arwen. They spend a lot of space talking about how beautiful she is. She's the most beautiful being that has ever existed anywhere, blah, blah, blah. I just imagine the experience of being like, yeah, she's described like this, so we would love for you to play her. We would love for you to play the most beautiful being that has existed in the universe. I was like, what better feeling?
Flattering casting when you see the character description there. Have you ever seen Liv Tyler's architectural digest tour of her home?
No,
I recommend that. She's a really kooky lady, and she just says a lot of really strange things in her. I'm sorry that this just like totally derailed it, but like she'll be like, "This is the room where we were all babies in this room. All of us were babies in this room," and she's like, and it doesn't make any sense. And she just says a bunch of stuff like that as she's traveling around. And she's like, "This is my
Is it
favorite
like
room in the house," and it's like the basement laundry room that's like creepy. It's
Okay. Is it like a cool house or
It
like
is.
gaudy?
No, it is a cool.
cool?
It is a cool house because it's like an old New York kind of brownstone house. It's like big, so it does have like cool things about it for sure. But also, it's kooky. Liv Tyler. But one of the popular complaints that I always heard from people that read the books and then saw the movie, I mean, still, is that like Arwen's not really even in the books that much. She's in like a few sentences, like she's barely in it. But I think it is interesting. I think basically it's better that there's more than one woman in these movies.
Yeah,
I think.
that's one of the weak points, definitely. And
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but there's another boy elf in the books that is the one that actually saves Frodo with the flood, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just merged him with Arwen.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is good. Like, she has more to do.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think it's better, like, just storytelling to have, you know, then when you meet Éowyn and then Aragorn, you've already met Arwen, and so when you have this sort of almost triangle that forms there, and Éowyn's such a good character, such a better character.
Yes.
You always imagined the hobbits to be much smaller, wore a fez and dungarees. Okay, I wish Bellatrellia's version of hobbits were the ones we got. I want them to wear little fezes.
I love that.
But yeah, like, wait, what was I talking about before?
Éowyn.
Oh yeah.
Good
Yeah.
character.
And I think that like it's a real sausage fest in these books, for lack of a better word. But it's also like J.R.R. Tolkien. There's a number of things that he's playing with here in terms of themes and stuff, but one of them is it's like a direct allegory for World War II as well. So it's like, I think that's partially why it's all men, is like that's who went to fight the war. Hey, Birch Plywood, thanks for the follow.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason I was kind of not turned off, but just for most of my adult life, I was kind of like, maybe this isn't necessarily for me.
Yeah.
And then now I've totally flipped. I'm like, nothing is more for me than this. I love it so much. But it is very, the whole series is very dudes rock, yeah.
Yeah, it really is. The Fellowship is just a big old keg party or something. I don't know. But I really do, like, I love these characters. I mean, like, this is something that I talk about with, like, the favorite films that you revisit a bunch, like, that are just, like, the films you always watch a million times, about how like the characters are my friends. And for me, one of my best friends in film is the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. He's my friend whenever I see him. So who are your guys in this? Who are your fave characters, do you think?
Gotta be Samwise. Gotta be sweet Samwise.
Same.
It didn't happen, but I was at a bachelor party one time where it was towards the end of the night. We had our max drinking level, and it was debated maybe we should all get matching tattoos of "I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you." It didn't happen. It didn't pan out, but there was a half serious discussion of maybe we should all get this as friends.
Yeah.
If one of us had been a hair more brave, I think
or
it might have happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly, yeah. Impaired one way or another, yeah.
I agree. He's simply my favorite.
And
and he was, and again, I'm watching these movies, experiencing the story for the first time as I ever read them, and like even from Fellowship, he was my favorite. I remember the moment that he became my favorite character is when he when they're leaving home and he takes the moment to say, well, this is it. If I take one more step, it'll be the farthest I've ever come from home. And there's just like something, he's so like hard on his sleeve at all times. Like, I just love him. He's just such a love. And that's like what he's there to do, is just to like unconditionally love and support Frodo and get him, because Frodo's going to become a psycho and it's not his fault.
Yes.
But, but that's going to happen.
Yeah. They defeat evil with the power of friendship, but
Mhm.
it's not hokey. You believe it. You're like, yeah, friendship can save the world, I guess.
Like, there's just no arguing that, like, Frodo could not have done it by himself. Like, he needed Sam. Like,
Right.
yeah, it's just carrying Sam, and then also when Sam has briefly carries the ring himself, he takes it, and Frodo gets all freaked out by that. But it's like Sam is just as incorruptible as you, really. But
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's such a cool, just relationship. But I will say that, like, because I've watched these movies 1,000 times, and revisiting them, like, it's always, especially through the years, it's just like easy to be like, Frodo's so whiny, and like, I get this way about Luke Skywalker a bit too, but I still feel that way more about Luke than about Frodo, because the movies do such a good job. I mean, like, of course there's all the big spectacle and design and everything, but there's also, like, conveying, like, a psychological hold, like, through the cinematography or whatever, and, like, the way that they frame just holding the ring, and, like, the actors reacting to it, like, how much is done through performance and just how it's the vibe that the movie gives across. It's so well done. Like, that's one of my
Yeah,
favorite
I
aspects.
agree. That's a great point. Yeah, how do you convey, the personality change or being slowly corrupted? Yeah, that's a great point. They do a great job.
Yeah, and just, like, seeing Frodo kind of, like, break down over time. Like, he just becomes weaker and
Hmm.
weaker and weaker, and you see the ways that the ring corrupts him and the others around him and stuff, and just it's a constant, like, ticking time bomb kind of thing. Like, when they run into what's his name, I forget, in the end of, or I mean, in Two Towers, and he's with them, and you're like, oh god, is he gonna find out about the ring? Like, anytime they come upon people, because this is like this thing that can just change everything and just fuck everything up,
Yeah.
and that's why they got to destroy it. Like, again, like, it's so the movie just is constantly showing you, like, why these things have to happen. So let me ask you, Bay, if you're just watching these movies, if you had your druthers, you're choosing extended or theatrical, which way you go?
Oh, extended, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I generally agree. I went extended this week, and I do like the theatricals as well, but what you get with the extended is it seems like all the extra time is character building in, like, a cool way. Like, there's just so much more
Yeah.
character depth and backstory and color and stuff that's in there. And dumb bits with Merry and Pippin, who I will say,
Yeah.
least favorite character by a mile.
Really?
Pippin.
Really?
Always fucking everything up. He's Jar Jar Binks, the
Yes.
Hobbit. I agree, but I do agree.
I like him, but I see what you're saying.
I agree with Bloviated, though, especially, actually, I felt this when I was rewatching Two Towers, that because Two Towers, to me, when I'm watching the theatrical, is like all killer, no filler. It's action, 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 action. But when I
Yeah.
did the 4-hour extended, there's lots of long sections of talking about what's about to happen or what just happened, and that's all good too. But I do think, like, from the purpose of what's a satisfying movie, specifically, I do think Two Towers. But I might say that the Fellowship extended, though, is, like, perfect. I loved that one, the extended.
Yeah, I'm kind of so obsessed with them that any more material
Yeah.
that I can get, I want it. I was thinking, do you know if the mouth of Sauron character, the crazy teeth guy, is he only in the extended? Or am I making that up?
Which movie is that? Is that Return, or which one is it?
It must be Return, when they're at the gates of Mordor and there's, I don't know what to call him besides the teeth
Yeah,
guy.
that's only
and goes
extended.
like this. Yeah. And, like, one of the best character designs, I think, of all the movies, and I want
Yeah.
to see that guy for sure.
Yeah, one of the things I love, actually, is that there's a lot more stuff with Isengard in Two Towers in the extended. I love there's more Grima Wormtongue hanging out with Sauron and stuff, and Brad Dourif, one of my all-time guys. Great performance
Yes.
as Wormtongue. Love it, love him.
This Halloween we just watched Exorcist 3.
Yes.
Which is so great and
Yeah.
so creepy.
And it's just like a few scenes or something, but they're really meaty, long scenes, and he's amazing. He's always so good.
Yeah, he's really great in the X-Files too. Very, very scary.
Oh, and if you've never seen Deadwood, he's one of my favorite Deadwood characters as well.
I haven't yet, but it's on my list.
Yeah,
mostly for him. Yeah.
Yeah, when eventually you get to it, he's the doctor, and he's like, he's sort of like an alcoholic, depressed doctor who's like, because he lives in a town where nobody really cares about living or taking care of themselves, and he's a doctor. So it's like he just is depressed. It is funny. So do you have a favorite of the trilogy as well?
It's probably Fellowship. Just dudes rock. Let's go on adventure. Power of friendship.
And it's like so well paced, like both the hangout sections, like the hangout in Hobbiton at the beginning, and then and then it gets intense, and then there's action, and then there's a hangout like at the inn or whatever, and hangout at Rivendell, and then like so these, but like those are all great. When you fucking meet Galadriel, that's also an awesome little like so these interludes, and then these really intense like Mines of Moria and like the battle at the end and stuff like that's so well paced and like structured. Like it is such a satisfying watch.
Yeah, the little interludes it shows you why we should care about saving this world and like why this world is like ours and like the lives of the people in it. It just like shows you, okay, this is why this world is worth saving. And so I think it kind of raises the stakes of like, this is why we have to fucking kill this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, although, there is also people that one of their complaints or book differences that gets called out is in the Return of the King. They don't have the scouring of the Shire. What's it called? Where they like... They like destroy the Shire in the books, and that doesn't really happen in the movies in the same way.
No, yeah. In the books, Saruman does not get killed at Orthanc, his big tower thing. He like becomes this weak, pathetic old man and scurries off. But then at the very end, he's fucked up the Shire, and they're like in a town nearby. There are like these corrupt hobbit cops running the place, I think. And so it's like the hobbits and Gandalf come back having defeated the greatest evil the world has ever seen. And they're like, okay, we can deal with like these like dirty hobbit cops. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a video game where you beat it and then you go back to the first level.
I like that because it also it echoes Gollum in an interesting way, like, which I think is cool, and like he's lost all his power. So you know what this is making me think of is, so the other thing that we have to elephant in the room we have to talk about is of course the other trilogy. How do you feel about the Hobbit films, I should say?
After I watched all of the Lord of the Rings in COVID lockdown, I was still like jonesing for more. And so even understanding that they weren't really good, I watched all the Hobbit movies just to spend more time in the world. And they're not very good, like at all.
Yeah, I never, I think same as you, I actually sat my ass down and listened or watched the Hobbit movies during COVID. I enjoyed them more than I thought. I think maybe my expectations were properly low, where there were sequences and things in it that I was getting some of the magic and it was some of the fun. But the big problem that you just can't get over is that didn't need to be 3 movies. It barely needed to be 2. But at least 2, it would be like, okay, like, fine. You want to make it 2 movies, that's okay, but like 3... And so you're saying like about what happens in the book to the Shire and everything. I'm like, and partially this movie franchise is responsible for this change. Like now of days, if they wanted to reboot this franchise again, which they're doing again with fucking Harry Potter, like if they want to do Lord of the Rings again, they would probably make each of the books rather, 3 movies, I think. Like Fellowship would be 3 movies, Two Towers, it'd be a 9 movie ordeal, I think.
Yeah, so unnecessary. And the only theatrical Tolkien thing I've seen was in theaters was the Battle of Five Armies, which I think was the very last Hobbit one. And that was when I was on my I don't care about Lord of the Rings shit. And so that was like such a poor introduction as an adult to the world
The
to
third
just go
part,
to this
had you
movie.
seen the first 2 parts of The Hobbit?
I don't know. I don't. If I had, they like weren't important.
They
to
hadn't
me
made a
and
real
didn't make
impression.
an impact
Yeah.
on me. So I just went to this movie of just a battle is the whole movie, and yeah, I came out being like, okay, I guess this is for boys or something. I don't know. I don't like it.
Well, and so another big difference, and I think that, and I'm not the first to bring this up, is, you know, the original trilogy when they made it, both because of, as you said, like the limitations in the technology, and also just like it's better to just make practical effects, like the way that they did a lot of just like the height differences was like old in-camera techniques that have been done, you know, for 60 years at that point, and so it's all practical. Like there was certainly like computer effects, like adding stuff in and you know, like whatever, but it was mostly practical. And then you go to the Hobbit trilogy and it's like totally backwards. It's like all green screen, like everything being put in post or whatever. And yeah, I think like like I said, I enjoyed well enough watching the Hobbit movies at the time, but thinking back at them now, it's like literally like video game. Like that was like the plot of a video game or something.
Yes, made later and look way worse. Not nearly as impressive. They took away all the practical stuff. Yeah, just boo, I think. Not very good.
You lose the charm when there's not like the physical like people, like there's not the castle walls and there's not like all the sweaty dirty people like with swords banging up against each other. They're all like temped in, you know, and in post it's not as good. It loses them and loses the magic. And this is a franchise that is largely about magic and sorcery and so on and so forth. So has your interest in like the fantasy genre generally increased since you got back into Lord of the Rings, or where are you at? Like, you know, like what about like Game of Thrones or that type of thing? Like, have you gotten into those?
I was very wary about Game of Thrones too, and we watched those. I watched that for the first time maybe a couple years ago and really enjoyed, you know, the seasons that everyone enjoyed, and then really
until the last
like
couple.
Yeah. And I guess I really like fantasy, but I think it's so easy to fuck up because you have these last Game of Thrones seasons and you have the Hobbit movies. And so I guess I'm kind of wary. I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, well, I feel like sort of what happens, and the reason that these, again, where I'm like, these movies are sort of a miracle that can never happen again, because they were so successful, that what happened after it came out was that every studio was IP mining. Like that became like, what are the books? What's unadapted? Let's rush Golden Compass to theaters. Let's like, what else is there? Like, you know, everything got revived and it's kept going. And I mean, like that hasn't let up. Like that's, and it was Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter both coming at the same time, I have to say. Like just the market exploded all of a sudden. But I feel like they're, you know, it's so easy to see like the aesthetics and the, you know, just the genre, you know, trappings of it, but like miss what it does so well, which is, I feel like Broken Records is exactly what I said last week with Pixar movies and stuff, is that it's just the storytelling that's really what the strongest part.
Yes.
Is it's such a compelling, you know, full world narrative that's like so epic and like meets like the sort of like ambition it sets out for itself in such a satisfying way. Like
Totally, yeah. When I watched them for the first time as an adult, I was expecting to be impressed by like the technical marvel of it all and everything. but I think I cried at least once per movie. Like
Mhm.
they're very affecting and emotional in like a very earned,
Oh yeah.
genuine way,
I
which I was not
know that
expecting at all.
I know that Samwise speech at the end of Two Towers gets
Oh my
him. It
God.
gets me every
Yeah.
time. There's good in this world, and it's worth fighting for, Mr. Frodo. Come on.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But it's like so many amazing like characters too. Like Gandalf. Like what a character. I mean, like that's like the magical wizard that everybody's like, yeah, that's the cool magical wizard guy. Like that is the
I know.
blueprint. And he was even
And just yeah.
so this is embarrassing, but I remember there's an episode of Friends that we like. Friends used to be the
Okay.
show that was on in reruns, like that I would watch after Simpsons or whatever, because that's what was on. And there was an episode where Ross and Chandler's old friend from college comes, and they call him Gandalf because he always brings the party and like has the adventure like ready to come.
Okay.
And so that was like, I remember like hearing this figure, and that was like, oh, okay, that's who Gandalf is. So that when I finally saw the movie, I was like, he is cool, man.
That is funny to say he's called Gandalf because he brings the party.
Yeah, we're like-
that's probably
they're
not
like-
the top thing.
Anywhere he takes you on an adventure, kind of, I think, is it's like, and
Yeah,
especially like
okay.
in the context of The Hobbit and you know, The Lord of the Rings, I think that is a fair. But he is just
Yeah.
and Ian McKellen, what a like just, and also Ian McKellen is the only actor to be nominated for an Oscar from these movies, and it's from the
Oh.
the
okay.
Fellowship. He was nominated Best Supporting. He didn't win. I forget what won instead, but it wasn't as good. Oh, actually,
Chat?
no. It may have been Benicio del Toro in Traffic. Was that the same year? But Benicio might win another one this year. So
Yeah, I
But-
hope he wins this year.
I do too. But I don't like. I would have loved to have seen Sean Astin get a nomination as well. I think that's another one who honestly
yeah.
deserved it, especially Return of the King. Even I mean, like he is so good in Return of the King. Like he is the key to that Frodo storyline, which is kind of important. And in like the end of the movie, like he's kind of the one wrapping it up too. Like he's such a
Yeah,
big
you have
part of
to.
it.
He has to carry the whole thing. Frodo is like he's either wrapped up in spider stuff or
Right.
he's like not himself, going out of his mind. So Samwise, just the character, has to.
Or
like,
he's going to the
carry the whole
Undying
story
Lands.
forward now.
Yeah, he's,
Yes.
Sam is the one that stays behind and writes it all down.
Yeah.
But I really love, like how well they just, him and Elijah Wood, I think, just embody sort of such a cool. I mean, well, all four of them. What's it? What's the? I mean, Dominic Monaghan, and then what's the other one's name that plays Pip?
Is it Billy Boyd?
Billy Boyd. I know it's Boyd something. Oh,
Is that right?
I just remember that I meant to put the do you wear wigs clip in the pre-show, and I forgot. Have you ever seen
Oh
that?
yeah, I have watched it recently actually, and I learned the context for the first time was like Elijah Wood couldn't see him.
Yes,
Like or
right.
he was
So he
just
thought it was
getting the
like a
audio.
radio interview or something, and so yeah.
Yeah, he thought it was like a legit German interview or something, and
Yeah.
was like
And it was
um,
Dominic
yeah.
Monaghan like doing an accent. Do you wear wigs? Will you wear wigs? Elijah Wood losing his mind. I mean, and those guys have a bond too. I've seen recent photos of them all getting together for dinner. Like they love each other, the Hobbit boys.
Yeah, I feel like
they're especially
this might
bonded.
be wrong. Yeah, this might not be correct. I feel like they might have a travel show together or like
Oh.
some kind of endeavor like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, they seem like they have a Hobbit bond that exists.
I
Even
know
now.
that Sean Astin's one of the most, or at least he was, I don't know if he's still active, but he was one of the most successful cameo people on Cameo. And he
Oh,
would
really?
do great cameos. Like he would be very genuine and like spend time and like really like do a good job on his cameo prompts, so people loved
I
him.
bet he would. Oh my gosh, that almost seems like beneath him in a way. Like I feel like he's a huge star, but I guess
Well,
yeah, if
do you
he's
know
such
that
a sweetie, that makes sense.
you know that he's a big Nepo baby?
No.
Yeah, actually, so it's funny. He is right now the president of SAG, Sean Astin.
Oh.
It's the Sean
okay.
Astin Guild. That's what it stands for right now.
Right.
And his mom, Patty Duke, was also the president of SAG. And his father, John Astin, played Gomez on in the Addams Family sitcom way back in the day.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, he is sort of a nepo baby, and like same. And it's funny because he was like one of the first. I think was Goonies even his first movie? It might have been, but like that movie also has Josh Brolin in it, who's the son of James
Right,
Brolin.
yeah,
and
yeah.
So, anyway, there's lots of. So it's just, it was funny to, and I also knew Sean Astin from Encino Man was a big movie in my house growing up. Have you ever seen
sure.
Encino Man?
I've never seen it, but I'm familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, the Pauly Shore canon. It's okay. Brendan Fraser, really funny.
Yeah.
Rudy, yes, Rudy is like also a hilarious
Oh, yeah.
movie. Have you? I hope you haven't seen Rudy because it's not good. It's
I
like
have not.
it's
no.
like a parody of like a inspirational movie story, but it's like the whole story is just a big lie, and it's about this guy who's like the fourth string football player all 4 years he's at Notre Dame, but he's like he practices harder, and even though he's smaller than everybody, he believes it. And then like on his very last game of his last season, he gets to play one down, and then he ends up scoring a touchdown or something, and everybody carries him off on their shoulders. But everything about it is a lie. The guy was like annoying, nobody liked him, and they were like, when they carried him off on his shoulders, it was like they were making fun of him, kind of. Like the movie.
Oh man.
Also,
okay.
it's a big movie in the magical black man kind of trope where is
sure.
Charles Rock Dutton, I believe, is the like janitor for the like facility, the Notre Dame like facilities. Yeah, it's a like, but it's a movie that like guys are like, yeah, that's a movie that makes me cry, bro. I cry a Rudy every time.
Okay. Yeah,
so
that sounds skippable.
And
Yeah.
Elijah Wood also was someone that I watched a lot of his movies as a kid as well, when he was a child star. So it was cool to kind of be like, oh, now they've grown up. Now they're like in these movies. It was very similar to, and this is again, I'm just aging my millennial ass constantly, but it was much the same as when I saw, Kenan Thompson make the jump to SNL from All That.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was like, wow, he grew up.
Yeah, that's how I feel now, seeing anyone from the internet who I look at as being from the internet,
Right.
like having success, like
Yeah,
Brian
like Stavros,
Alvarez and
Stavros showing up in
Stavros,
Begonia. Like,
absolutely,
what's happening?
yeah.
That's not right. You live on my computer.
Yeah, I feel like they're on my team, like they're
Right.
from online, and I'm like, I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, I know. It's, hey, they got to come from somewhere. I mean, like, so they're increasingly going to come from TikTok and bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, another one of my... so I actually wrote down my top 5 favorite characters. I'll just say them. Number 1 is Sam
Okay.
as well. Number 2 is Gandalf. Like, easy. Number 3, Aragorn. Okay, like, sure. Easy picks. All right, sure. Sue me. 4, I have Gollum as my 4th favorite. And my 5th,
Okay.
Galadriel. And that's largely
Okay.
because I love Cate Blanchett. And just, like, her narration
too.
in the beginning, too. And also when she loses... I mean, that's why I had Abby, my wife, draw me as Galadriel losing her mind for my
Yeah.
drawing, because it's like one of my favorite parts of the movie. It's like so cool.
Yeah. I love her part too, and she does strike fear in your heart when she gives her little speech about how she maybe just give the ring to me.
Yeah.
Genuinely scary.
Yeah, and it's like, and that's enhanced certainly, obviously, with computer graphics as well, but it's like all coming from her performance. And this is a big movie, I think, in selling people in a great performance coming through, like, technologically assisted kind of. And but the biggest example, of course, is Gollum. I mean, like, that Gollum, like,
Yeah.
as a character is like as important a thing for movies as Toy Story was for animated movies last week, where it was like the idea of a fully motion capture to this degree. I mean, I think other things had been basically motion captured, but like to this degree, creating like such a full character, fully mocap was unheard of.
Yeah.
And
Do you
Andy
think so
Serkis
that-
is like
yeah.
a legend for it.
Did that technology start in games, do you think, and then migrated over to movies, or did it
It's
start in
possible that they
movies?
were like in parallel. Those technologies kind of were probably applied for both. It might have been movies may have even been first, just because of. I'm thinking of the timeline of like, well, let's see, what were games like in 1999?
Yeah, like what
And,
people
like,
thought was like legitimate.
yeah, I
art to
don't think they would have
invest in. Yeah, I
thought
don't know.
about motion capturing necessarily in the same way. Like they wouldn't have been able to even comprehend the polygons they need. But yeah, I mean, and it's really great that like then that became Andy Serkis's whole thing, because then he was the next movie Peter Jackson makes after the trilogy. Have you seen his King Kong?
Yes, yeah. I think I saw that in theaters
I
when
did
I was
too.
a kid, even too.
I think I saw it in theaters too, and I was also a big Jack Black fan as well. And that was like the guy from Tenacious D is in a big movie, because he wasn't even. I think this was around. It may have even been before School of Rock, so like he was not a big star yet, because School of Rock was really what.
Right. Yeah.
School of Rock and Kung Fu Panda, I would say.
Oh yeah,
were
Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, but Andy Serkis is King Kong in that. Like he's also that, and of course he is my favorite monkey in film, Caesar in the new
Right,
Planet
yeah.
of the Apes. I love
Yeah,
Caesar.
it's interesting that they like invented a new type of star for there to be like this motion capture star, and then still like Andy Serkis is the only guy. Like
Right.
you'd have think it would have proliferated to other performers.
The only other ones
but
I can
it's, like,
think
the
of
guy.
it'd just be like the cast of Avatar making Avatar, but that's like more tied to
Right.
the movie than the actors, right? It's like that's the movie they're making.
Yeah.
Where they have the full, crazy mocap suits on that they wear to make those movies. Doug Jones, that's a good one for
Doug
times.
Jones.
Although
Yeah,
Doug Jones,
yeah.
I think I associate much more with practical makeup effects.
Me too, I think. But it's a similar kind of thing of like, we got a guy, you
Yeah.
can put any kind of shit on him. And
Well,
he'll
Doug
do
Jones
great.
is like from early on was like such a unique, strange body type that they were like, "Ooh, let's make this guy a noodle man!" Like immediately, like look at him.
Yeah.
So and certainly Guillermo loves to in Shape of Water and stuff, and he was also but he was also Abe Sapien as well in the Hellboy movies too. Doug Jones.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Guillermo loves Doug Jones. How'd you feel about Frankenstein? Did you see Frankenstein?
I haven't seen it yet. I really, really want to. Very mixed, it seems, the reviews that I'm hearing. Like, beautiful to look at, and then divided pretty roughly in half as far as story and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's like we loved it in this house. I'm speaking for my wife as well. Because we also just love Guillermo doing gothic horror kind of thing, where his movie Crimson Peak we also really liked a lot, and this I thought was better than that in terms of like the story.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I feel like a lot of like people's complaints about like the acting or the writing or whatever is just like them not vibing with the tone and like the genre kind of that he was going for with it,
Yeah.
which I felt like it maintained being a ridiculous, over-the-top gothic horror throughout. And Jacob Elordi is really, really good in it.
Really?
It's a great take on the monster. Yeah.
Did you ever read the book, like, have to in high school or anything?
I actually never did. But I know not a lot, but I know some about the writing of the book is one of my favorite bits of like weird lore in literature and history. It's like them just like having a weird three-way with
in a contest.
yeah.
And
just making a strange story to scare everybody.
I actually think I had to read it in high school, but I think it probably remains one of my favorite books because I think it's very difficult for me anyway to be scared by a book, but it's legitimately very scary. very disturbing. I've had like dreams about it even years later. So I feel like maybe some of the criticism could be like I was hoping for it to be super super close to the book, and maybe it's not. But
Yeah, it
I'll see.
definitely.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it strays from the book while while nodding to it in other ways too. So it's interesting. And then I've read like really good analysis of people that have like really read on the like are really like have been researching the talking about Frankenstein for decades or whatever. That have had really good analyses of how they appreciated how he did his own thing, but also stayed true to like the spirit of the original. So I'm interested to see what you think. But that just got us off track of course, the Lord of the Rings. But I also think, thinking back to what you were saying before about sort of how they became like oversaturated when they were like first coming out for you a little bit. Like I remember watching the Oscars in, I guess it would have been 2004 or 2005. No, it would have been 2004. And that was the year that Return of the King won everything. The prior Fellowship and The Two Towers, they won like production design and some technical awards and like costumes and makeup and special effects. But they had missed out on like some of the bigger awards. And then when it got to Return of the King, they were like, we're rewarding the entire trilogy. You're going to win Best Picture, you're going to win Best Director, you're going to win Best Screenplay, like everything. And my mom was watching it and she kept being like, I'm bored of the rings, is what she kept saying. Which is, of course, also the name of the very lame, stupid parody book that Doug Kenny and the other one wrote at Harvard Lampoon that sort of launched their career in the 60s. That was like the parody of the Lord of the Rings books called Board of the Rings.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, it sounds like a Mad Magazine. Yeah.
No, I was like, yeah, you're the first one to think of that joke, Mom. Board of the Rings. Very good. But it's the most perfect trilogy. It really is. Like, there's nothing that comes close to the perfection across the three movies, extended or theatrical, whatever flavor you're into. I mean, the complaints on Gourd of the Rings, I like that, and we are in gourd season.
Yeah.
I like Gourd of the Rings. Just the one complaint on Return of the King, but it bothers me less and less the more times I revisit it. But I do remember when, like, even when I saw it at the time when it first came out, being like, this movie has too many endings. It has like 5 different endings, and that's sort of true. But also, like, the movie has like 5 beginnings, kind of like it sort of has to return back to Rivendell. It has to return back. It's like a closing of
like
every
a parallel.
Sort of beginning.
It's like symmetrical. Like you have to go up and then you have to come down.
You have to end at Hobbiton again. There and back again. A Hobbit's Tale. You know.
Yeah. I don't mind that at all, and I like when I'm watching the movies, I don't want them to end.
Right.
So I'm like, we have to go to the Undying Lands and we have to do this and that. Like, I'm excited for it to keep going when I'm watching them.
Yeah, but I remember being like whatever a junior or senior in high school and seeing the Return of the King and then making fun of the Hobbit slumber party and afterwards when he's like wake up like they're like jumping on the bed all excited together, and now I watch it and I'm like
I know, yeah,
so
same.
Real Scatman John, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Like I find that I only love these movies more with time, and it's like, and also as the like movie industry gets more franchise and IP obsessed, again largely owing to the success of this specific movie franchise, it makes me love this one more for just like how well it avoids all of that, because it came before all that crap and it could just be a perfect story told, like epic story told over 3 awesome like long great movies. Like it's just a great time.
Like totally unconcerned with like fan service, or like that idea was not like really infiltrating movies at the time even, and so they could just stand alone as just perfect. I think they're perfect.
There was like a whole thing I remember hearing about that when the books were coming out, that because in the books, I believe the end of the Two Towers is Frodo maybe getting captured by Aragog or whatever the spider. And it ends
Shelob?
on Shelob. Sorry, I said the one from Harry Potter tonight. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. But Shelob. And it ends with a cliffhanger of you're not sure if he's dead or alive, kind of. And so there was a whole, basically the 1950s or whatever, whenever they came out, version of a meme that was Frodo lives, and people saying Frodo lives, like believing Frodo lives before Return of the King came out.
I've never heard that before. Yeah, it is a cliffhanger. I can't imagine like having to wait for the next book to come out because I just read them one after the other.
So I was just thinking, like, yeah, now the thinking would be, okay, we have to have a reference to someone says, well, Frodo lives. Like, you need to like reference the meme or whatever.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, it would be like everything would be one does not simply blah blah blah. Like they'd have to stuff that in every single
This is
movie.
another thing we do need to get to is there a more memed franchise? I mean, like Star Wars. I mean, even Star Wars doesn't. I think in terms of like the memes that I see, the one does not simply, all the Gollum stuff, and I don't know. There's more I'm not thinking of, but it's so funny that it's Sean Bean as well, who's like. It's like perfect that he gets to be the avatar for all Lord of the Rings movies going.
I know,
one does not simply walk into
I was thinking about that too. Like these are 20-year-old movies and new memes are still being made like every day because it's just like, I don't know, it's part of everyone's life, whether you want it to be or not.
And I also feel like it's that the like it's easy to reference, not just because like, oh, we know the lines, we know these characters, we know what these characters like are so fully drawn, we get their desires. Like, I mean, obviously Gollum's obvious, like we know what he wants, like his precious, and like, but that's such a clear like who that character is, so he can be so easily memed. And like people, I was trying to you all dodged a bullet with the Lego Gollum Justin Bieber parody in the pre-show, because I did put in my YouTube search bar Gollum epic rap battle. But I didn't find anything.
No.
But like it's so easy to, reference these characters because they're so clear, like or like Gimli and my axe. Like that's Gimli as a character.
I know,
like
just
he's
like
such a
so
cartoon.
Archetypal either characters or like moments, and
or their
relationships,
like
your life.
Like one of the other memes I think about is like, well, would you fight alongside like I would never thought I'd fight alongside an elf or whatever. He's like, what about alongside a friend or is that what he says? And then they're like, he's like, that'll do. Like that I've seen like that format memed a bunch, but that's like their relationship, and so that's why it's fun to think about, is because it's not just like an empty moment, like some stupid nothing kind of pep talk that's in a Marvel movie or something that they want to be a meme, like that they're trying to make a meme. It's like, no, that's not it. But like a genuine moment between the characters, that's what we're gonna like sort of latch onto and like repeat. And that's what I think is really cool about what gets memed. As opposed to like another one of my favorite movies is or at least growing up, a movie that was really important to me is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the Gene Wilder version, obviously. And so I was really upset when Sarcastic Wonka was in his heyday. That really bothered me, because it's such a like reductive take on the character. It's like not what the character actually like. He has these moments like that, but it just really bothered me to have like one of my favorite movie characters be like saying some libertarian bullshit like in a judgmental way while he's like this, and I'm like, oh fuck.
It's not like the pose is more important than what the character is actually doing, and it's always like it's called a job or like something just horrible.
Tell me more about how taxes or theft or whatever. Stupid. I don't care, man. But like I do think the Lord of the Rings memes are a bit more pure. But you know what? There aren't a single one of, I can't remember ever seeing a Hobbit meme. I don't think I've ever seen a Hobbit meme. I guess like I've seen referenced the barrels, the part where they're all in the barrels in the river, and when the hobbits are doing the dishes and singing their song or whatever. Like, but those aren't really memes. It's just like, I don't know.
No, yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I've ever seen a single screen cap from those whatever 12 hours of movie that they made the Hobbit book into. Not one memeable moment.
Yeah, which is how we should judge films, I think.
Yeah, I think that is how they're being judged now. Like,
how many
saying,
memeable
like,
moments are in
yeah.
sentimental value, or like, yeah. I will say, okay, off topic. Earlier today, Abby and I, it was much earlier today. We each had edible gummy, and we watched the new Luc Besson version of Dracula. Luc Besson of Fifth Element, and a bunch of movies that suck as well, like Valerian.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
But
yeah.
sometimes and this was some of the best looking trash I've ever seen. I mean, it looked incredible, and it was so stupid. So stupid. All I'll say,
really,
he is assisted by CGI animated gargoyles. Fully like Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame style. Like, they don't talk, but they're yeah.
Comic relief, or are they like
kind of at times? I mean, like,
really?
there's also there's a whole sequence with the choreographed dance that my jaw was.
Ooh.
I was like, my mind was blown.
That just sent a shiver down my spine when you said choreographed dance. Yeah.
It's quite something. And the Dracula is I don't know if you know this actor, Caleb Landry Jones.
I know him.
Yeah, actor. I like, he's like the brother in Get Out and stuff, and he's like played like redneck characters and stuff a few times, and so now he's doing like a Transylvanian accent and being Dracula, and
my gosh,
when you see him as old man Dracula, it's fully like Gary Oldman in. Have you seen the Francis Ford Coppola Dracula? Bram Stoker's Dracula? Yeah. The way that he's like styled with like his big white hair, but it's like. It's somewhere between that and the Nosferatu version of gross.
Wow, okay. Did they digitally age him, or did they like?
I think that he was mostly. It seems like it was mostly practical, like the makeup, but when he is in old mode versus when he. Oh, there is. Oh my God! There's a part where he wants to drink a lot of blood to get younger. And he goes to a convent, and he like hypnotizes all the nuns in the convent, and they're like holding him up on like a full like pyramid, like climbing, like all like offering him their necks. They're like, and it's all these nuns, and it's such a crazy visual, and I'm like, this movie fucking rocks. It's really stupid though, but.
That sounds like a little bit like edgelord shit. Like, what's the craziest place for Dracula to go? Like, who do you most not want to get bit by Dracula?
It kind of was.
Bunch of nuns?
Like, we want to upset the Catholics with this one. It's like, the Marilyn Manson going door to door trying to shock people thing. Yeah, very much. But anyway, I don't know what I needed to talk about Luc Besson's Dracula because I think people are sleeping on it, and it needs to be sought out. But yeah, I think that it's such an interesting just franchise because it's in some ways the most it's the one franchise to rule them all. Like at the same time, I don't want them to do anything with it anymore. Like, I just like let it.
Yeah,
like,
same.
Maybe more video games. Actually, have you played any of the video? Like Shadow of Mordor is fucking awesome. Sick game.
Really? No, I haven't. I really, if you had asked me, I would only have been able to name that Gollum game that they made,
when they played
which looked awesome.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Gollum on those Go Off Kings viewers. Seen a lot of Gollum. And that also brings me actually to the future of the franchise, because that's what's next for the Lord of the Rings. Besides, I think, they're not even making more Rings of Power. I think they stopped Rings of Power. So next up is a movie, and actually I think it might even be 2 movies called The Hunt for Gollum. More
Oh, yeah.
Gollum.
I
don't need more Gollum. I know what Gollum was up to. You don't need to tell me like Gollum.
I know.
Like we've already gotten so
pretty
much
much
Gollum.
know. Yeah.
Give me someone with like the
We
elves
know
or
this whole
something.
shit.
Like
Yeah.
there's so much in the world that actually, and also I wasn't able to finish. There's a like a animated 2D animated movie that came out like a year ago. I want to say, The War of the
that was
Rohirrim.
supposed to be good. Yeah, I think that was supposed to be good.
I was watching some of it. The visuals are okay. It had like Brian Cox doing a voice and stuff, which was cool. But like,
Okay.
it was also like it wasn't doing much for me. I think I'm much more into the elves than the Rohirrim. But I mean, I don't know. That might just be.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
I'm a big
Agree.
elf fan. I think that like if you were to be a Middle Earth person, what would you like to be?
Elf for sure.
Elf for all the way. I
They're
mean,
beautiful. They live in beautiful places.
they live forever.
They live forever. It's a little unfair. They're pretty
Right.
stacked. Yeah.
Yeah, their stats are like very juiced. Like they can just kind of they're great fighters. They
Yeah.
immortal.
But
it's all-
Hobbits,
Hobbits
very
though
idyllic place to live.
seem like
you just
the most
garden
fun
and
life.
whatever.
Yeah, that you can have.
Yeah.
Or like just the most
Mhm.
laid back, chill life. I really
That
want to go
sounds
to.
pretty good.
I really want to go to Bilbo's 71st birthday. That's where I'm saying, like, because there are like, places that you can like go on full on Lord of the Rings tours in New Zealand. So like tour the like actual filming locations and like see the mountains and stuff from the movies. And there is a actual Hobbiton that you can visit. I think in like Ireland or something. And like so people
I'd
have
love
made these
to.
like things, but like. I want like the theme park. I want to like go to Bilbo's 71st birthday. Like, come on. Like,
I know it's interesting that because you were saying this, like, how have they not made a theme park yet? And I was kind of thinking like, oh, they're so protective of the IP or whatever. And then you mentioned Rings of Power, and then I was like, oh, I guess they're not
Exactly.
actually. So I don't know. I don't know why. I was just watching the new 4-hour Defunctland
Yeah.
video.
Great.
And they were talking about the idea that like Steve Jobs coined and then maybe Bob Iger latched onto or whatever, of like you can deposit into your brand by like doing cool things and like earned things and like creating warm feelings, or you can withdraw from your brand by doing things that are not up to par or just kind of shitty, or people don't respond well to it. And so that's fresh in my mind as I'm thinking about these, of like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they would think a theme park, it would have to be immaculate.
Yeah, I mean,
and
like-
people are such huge nerds about this stuff that it'd have to be so on point.
Yeah, I mean, like, War of the Rohirrim, or however you say it, like, it didn't set the world on fire. Like, it didn't do great. I mean, like, I don't know if their expectations were that high for it, but it, like, didn't do amazing. Rings of Power, like, Rings of Power did get, like, views, whatever those are worth, because they self-report them.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
yeah.
Like, it was, like, the most watched premiere or something, and whatever. But, like, it didn't make an impact. And also, it was, like, constricted from actually saying the names or, like, referencing a bunch of stuff from the movies. Like, they couldn't actually, like... So they're constantly, like, doing this weird dance on that show where, like, they aren't fully able to do the full Silmarillion or whatever they want to do in the same way. Like, they're handcuffed. And now they're going to do Gollum, and that's definitely going to suck. Like, there's no way that's not going to suck.
No, yeah.
So, yeah.
Bloviated says getting the rights to the story and characters of the original books is a different matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that was another big thing about these movies, is actually that the fight to get them made, I mean, like, had been since the books came out, like they were, you know, like people trying to get this together. They did the animated. Have you seen the animated ones? They're kind of interesting.
I have. Well, I guess I've seen the animated Hobbit.
Yeah.
At like movie night at school, but yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, we had them on DVD, and I remember watching them after seeing the movies and being like, "These look like shit." Like going from watching a Fellowship of the Ring to watching the animated
it's not fair.
the animated version with like the it's the like the kind where they film the actors and like animate over it or whatever, and it just looks it's an early version of it too, and it looks bad. But what the movie studios kept wanting them, and this is so fucking insane. They would keep being like, no, not 3 movies. Do them all as 1 movie. Do all 3 books as 1 movie. Ralph Bakshi,
I don't know how you could possibly. Yeah, I don't know how that would be possible. You would not. It would be so rushed. You would not get to know anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, basically, and I'm gonna botch sort of the origins of how the movie came to be, but like, New Line was like, sure, here you can make the movie, but we can't, like, and Peter Jackson's like, I won't take any money, and a bunch of actors who are like, we'll just take back end, and then the movies become so successful that basically it bankrupts New Line because so much was owed to all these people that were like gonna get paid from the money it made afterwards.
Right.
And now New Line sort of exists, but it was like also New Line's a really interesting studio. Studio talk might be boring, but like it started as strictly horror movies, like and like low or like distributing like low budget stuff that people were like, this will play for like the midnight movie kind of time in the 70s. And then they got their first franchise with Nightmare on Elm Street, which was like the house that Freddy built is what they called New Line, and then they had a bunch of other horror movies. And then in the 90s they started making like comedies and stuff too. They made, like, I remember seeing them before like Jim Carrey's movies and stuff, like I think Ace Ventura maybe.
Really?
Yeah, and then so then they make The Lord of the Rings, and it's like, what
Quite
the
a
fuck?
jump,
Like,
yeah.
they like all of a sudden are making the greatest trilogy of all time. Is so good that the studio had to close. I mean, they still technically exist, but they're like bought by, they're like a label they put on certain movies. Actually, I think
like they were acquired by someone
feel
huge.
like the latest Final Destination may have been a New Line as well.
That sounds right, actually. Yeah.
So it's just sort of like the victim of their own success because they cooked too hard. They cooked way too hard with these movies.
That's sad that can happen. Like, you want it to be a success story, but they did too well. Yeah.
Right. And so that also becomes a bit of the, hey, thank you so much for the sub to Hubbit of Doom. Thank you for the Prime sub. I don't know why the alert's not going. I had a cool one, but oh well. It's supposed to be Sam going, potatoes, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. I just said it. You got the performance of it from me.
You said it, yeah. Someone had to.
That's one of my favorite parts. I do love Sam and Gollum like bickering is just really great.
I know, and they do such a great job of like, would I be a Sam or would I be a Frodo about Gollum? And I don't really know. Like, they make him so pathetic. You can see how you take pity on him, but he's
such a good
freak.
character. Even like his death and everything. Like, oh, there's a hype train, I think, started for the sub. Thank you, Hubba. We're starting a hype train.
I don't know what that means. Can you explain what that means?
I don't actually really get what it is. It's because I don't. So now, anytime any sub happens or anything, it'll be like, oh, we're starting a hype train, because like it's not like I get a ton of subs all the time. So like, but if for example on like the Go Off Kings or something, if like a bunch of people are subbing all at once or gifting subs, then it'll be like a hype train starting, and then it's Twitch's way to get people to be like, hey, participate, get to the next level of the hype train, and give us more of your money. But also the streamer gets the money, some of the money too. So whatever. it's not interesting.
Everybody keep the hype train going.
Or at least it said level 1. Now I don't know. What was I saying about before the hype train?
Gollum, and he's dying.
Oh yeah, Gollum
and,
as a character is like, oh yeah, his death. Like he gets the precious in the end, and then it kills him. Like he dies like getting the precious. It's sort of a perfect way for him to go, and like that. But just the inner conflict, and that's another thing of like, again with the Ring, the double personalities. It's not just like even a fully motion captured performance. He's also like a dual personality having conversations with himself, and I'm invested. I'm like I'm rooting for Smeagol, throughout these movies. I want
so
Smeagol
impressive,
to win.
yeah.
Like,
yeah, to convey, like, even with his facial expressions, like, knowing that it's gonna be some other face mapped on, and like, conveying these two personalities and his voice and everything. Yeah, so impressive.
Yeah, and I mean it's interesting because now Andy Serkis is sort of a big known actor in his own right, but it also last week when we were talking about Toy Story and about how that movie kind of made celebrity voice casts. That was a big part of the trend of now there used to be voice actors who would just do voice acting or some other stuff, but they would make their bones voice acting, and now it's all Chris Pratt and Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah,
or
it's such a bummer.
Yeah, and so I think that there's such a Andy Serkis bringing it back to like a real artistry, because so much of that performance capture does come from the voice, like, right? And I think that there are a lot, even great voice actors will in the booth will inhabit, like what their voice is doing as well. Like they'll hunch over or something. Yeah, like they'll do something. And so he really did like such a one-way, bloviated, and the way that they edit them back and forth, like it's over the shoulder or whatever, like it's like this way and that way, like when the two personalities are talking. Again, just like, and that's just like basic kind of filmmaking. Like it's so easy to get lost in like the bells and whistles of everything and like the designs, but like just the very, like, this is Peter Jackson just being like a lover of film, like, and he's also a cool filmmaker because if you like look at his filmography before this, it's insane. Like it's like The Frighteners was like a big deal, but like
is it Beautiful Creatures or Heavenly
Creatures, right, which is like really messed up, and then like the Meet the Feebles and stuff, which is like fucked up puppets and shit. Like it's like, honestly, it reminds me a little bit. I just finished Peacemaker season 2, so I'm thinking about James Gunn, and he was making like trauma crap, and then he got to be making Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever, and now he has he's running DC Studios. So it's just like someone from the internet, like you're saying. Like, how are these the people that are now like running the show? It's just interesting.
I know. I like when like kind of obsessive, like real freaks get to do whatever, they get the blank check and get to do whatever they want. I loved Peter Jackson's Beatles thing. I thought that was really cool, actually. And just, I like that that type of person, that like type of meticulous weirdo can find this huge success and then be able to do whatever they want, basically.
Yeah, and then like he's like, fine, what the other interesting thing is that he wasn't going to direct the Wizard Orb is Tom Bombadil for real. Mr. Bombadil, thank you so much for joining us here. Wow, very very honored to have you.
Wow, sorry you got cut from the movies.
Yeah, sorry, Tom. I
was rooting for you.
That is a really funny thing that the books just fully stop dead to have a character come and sing a song about everything that's going to happen to them. I don't know why they cut it from the movies.
There are so many songs in the book where it was like they sing a song when they're moved by anything, or like just to fill the time, or like they just see like a beautiful vista and they're like, this reminds me.
I mean, it's
of
cool.
A song.
They do some of them in the movie, like the Misty Mountain song is really cool. I think when they sing that, which movie is that in Return? I think. The Misty Mountain is real old. I do think they should have put one of the Led Zeppelin songs in. That's about. Just kidding.
Oh, sure. I'm sure in the future of this franchise, it's
the next reboot.
Happen.
It's gonna have the immigrant song playing in the trailer. Yeah.
100%. Or like a slowed down version of it.
Right.
With like xylophone.
Misty
Not,
Mountains. Yeah. All right. But I mean, Peter Jackson did also. Well, so he wasn't going to direct the Hobbit movies. It was going to be Guillermo del Toro, actually, and then that ended up, and he was just going to produce them. But it like. It just ended up falling through, and then he ended up being like, and then the movies like were repeatedly like going to start filming, and then they would fall apart. So I remember like all of that, like a couple of times being like, okay, they're gonna start making the Hobbit movies, and being like, oh no, never mind, and then it would be like another year or two. And then he and then he did make them all, and they still made a bunch of money, even though nobody really likes them. And so now, yeah, he gets to make the Beatles documentaries and stuff that he clearly cares more about. But it was kind of sad that like he's got those on his resume as well. I mean, they got fun stuff in them.
Well, you know, give it to him. You know,
they would have been worse without him for sure. You know. But
yeah,
it is what it is. And this is like sort of the depressing part of the franchises, is it's like, well, we got to do something with it. Yeah, you know, it's like just sitting there. And then it's just like, well, what's left in it that we can, and like The Hobbit is such a like, it's the book that they give the kids, that they give, like I remember in like 8th grade or whatever in summer reading being like, yeah, this is read The Hobbit. That's the intro for kids to The Lord of the Rings. And then they're like, we're gonna make 3 movies out of it. It's like, wait, what? Like, you made 3 movies out of like this much book, and I get it. You have this much book for the trilogy, and then this much, and you're gonna make 3 movies. I don't get it.
So unnecessary, but I'm sure every single one, all 3, made a boatload of money. So I mean,
like they did, but they also cost more to make and to market and stuff as well. So I don't even know. Like I feel like it's sort of like I really hate how much I'm talking about Harry Potter in this episode, but the Crimes of Grindelwald and how they just like gave up on making those movies because they're like, oh god, that's enough of the fucking Grindelwald. I think they knew they had 3 of these hobbits, and so they're like, all right, we'll get these out. And I think they did okay, but I don't think they were necessarily as huge as maybe they hoped. Like they still made a ton of money, but also cost a lot as well. So I mean, at least that's the feeling I get, because again, what they're doing with it, the franchise, well, we'll see. But no matter what happens, we'll always have this trilogy of films, and they're not going anywhere. And aren't they great? Don't we love them?
We love them.
Bae, do you have anything else that we'd like to cover about Lord of the Rings as we come to our end here?
I don't think so. Just to say that if there's something you've been avoiding for some petty reason, like maybe every guy you match with on Tinder says it's their favorite movies or something, if you have something like that in your life, give it a shot.
For
might
sure.
Be proven wrong. And I was proven wrong.
Or
things.
like, I mean, I have this happen all the time as well. Of like something I watched and I just wasn't in the right headspace, was distracted or whatever, just like didn't connect with it at the time for whatever reason. And somebody will say, oh, I love this thing. And I'll be like, you know, and they'll be like, have you seen it? And I'll be like, and I almost want to say no. It's like, but I'm like, I did, but I'll be like, I wasn't fully there. I need to revisit it. And I think that there's a lot of stuff like you got to like look for the things where you're like, sometimes a movie you're like, this isn't my kind of, I don't like it or whatever. But sometimes it just is, it wasn't the right day. Give it another shot. Oh, that makes sense. 50 McNasty. One of the reasons that it made it to 3 movies was to get the crew paid better. I mean, that's certainly, I can see that they get paid 3 times.
Everybody get their bag. I support it. I just don't want to watch the movie.
Yeah, and it's not like the movie as 2 movies they're as good as the trilogy. Like they're still not. Like I mean, even if they were perfectly done and we loved them and they were great, and we're like, I also like the Hobbit movies too. Like you know, like a world where like the Hobbit movies are really good and there's only 2 of them, and you're like, I like those movies. I still think they don't come close to the original trilogy. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So
But nothing can come close, and that's okay.
yeah, and I mean, again, where we and this is my favorite thing about film is that once it's like complete and there it is, it's like a perfect thing that exists forever. That like you can always revisit. It's there for you, and yeah, and like how cool that this is the culmination of millions and millions of dollars and thousands of people working and so much time and like it's all like this complete work of art in the end, just like this episode of the Good Movie Chat About. Just kidding.
That will exist forever. Nothing
Yes.
can ever touch it.
It's going to go right
Yeah.
up on my YouTube, which everybody like and subscribe, please. Thank you so much for being here, Bae. What a great, fun chat about such a wonderful franchise. I'm so glad we got to talk about.
Thank you.
Next week, again, everybody, next week is the finale of Franchise Fest. I see you. We're doing Avatar. Avatar week. Guest, Stefan Heck. That's right. And a lot of the Avatar songs that Stefan made sound alerts of are public on sound alerts. So I'm going to set them as sound alerts on the stream next week, including Demi's Big Blue Cat song, I believe. So everybody look forward to that. Bae, thanks again. Everybody follow BayBayFriend.bluesky.social. Look at the Grassy Valley comic. And yeah, I gotta do like a raid and stuff, I guess. We will send everybody over to our good friend Justin, and everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Tomorrow at 6, I'll be doing some hanging out Sunday night Chill Zone streaming, so come on by for that if you want. And until then, we'll catch you later. Goodbye.
Toronto, Cannes, Berlin, and Sundance, everybody chat about good movies, chat about good movies, chat about good movies, good movies.